Before meeting the love of my life, I was single for a long time. Like really long. We are talking about decades here. But you know what? This single life forced me to learn how to love myself. And guess what? It worked! I followed all the cliche advice possible. And everything worked. Boom. Self-love unlocked. But here is the plot twist. Of course there is one. Now that I am older, and especially now that I am in a relationship, I realize that I don't take anymore the time to love myself. It's like I just stopped actively loving myself. So I am making this video as a wake-up call, and by the end of this video we will remind ourselves how to love ourselves, all the basics. And I'm gonna change right now because I'm still in pyjama. I'm back, and I'm freaking cute! Look at this! To be honest, I keep my pyjama. Forgive me. I'm just too comfortable with you, you know, so I have to keep it comfortable. Let me give you 8 steps on how to love yourself again. And you will see every time I have my past experience versus my current experience, and hopefully it will help us focusing on loving ourselves right now. Let's start. Okay, the first step to love yourself, of course, it's the will to love. It has to be a decision. You want to. You can't fake it and you can't force it. And trust me, when I was single and my big ass was depressed, I couldn't love myself. It was hard. And I tried to force it. It didn't work. I cannot force myself to love someone, and I cannot force myself to love me. But one day, I made the decision to change. I don't know what was the trigger of this change. Maybe knowing what it is to feel happy. I don't know. But one day I made this decision, and from this I was willing to love myself. I wanted to give it a try, and that willpower gave me the push I needed to treat myself differently. I was able to put this small little effort, enough for me to show myself some love. A bit, but it was better than nothing. And in the long run, of course, it works. And today, with my partner, I can clearly say that the will, it's really important. You need to want to make the effort. It's crucial, and I think it's part of the relationship. This will allows you to look for solutions. Look for ways to improve, ways to bring a smile to your partner or to yourself. I think this will is really a problem solver and will help you in the long run to really build this self-love. And I feel like without the will, it's much harder to force love. The next tip is to romanticize your life. Put the big glasses on and start appreciate all the small things. Now that you have the will within you, you want to love yourself or to love your partner, you just need to appreciate all the small things. Be romantic. When I was single, I started dating myself so much. I was going to the cinema alone, I was eating in the restaurant alone, I was walking with myself and just enjoying the park. I was just really self-centered about getting to know me and loving myself and appreciate and support myself. I was even going on holidays by myself. And you know, when you have a date, you like to pimp yourself, making yourself cute and ready. In my case, it was helping me boosting my confidence. And I think it's the same with having a relationship. All of those small actions makes really a good impact in our relationship. And because we are romanticizing every little small things, for instance, if he will make the tea for me, then it will be so cute, and in my head, I have heart everywhere. Especially now that I have become more appreciative of those small things, those small attention. I think it should come from both my partner but also from me to myself. Okay, I'm gonna take off my glasses because they are hurting me. I changed my hair a few days ago and it's hurting in my ear. Why do I go in so much details? I don't know. But I'm happy that now you know. The next tip is learning and communication. So get to know yourself. So when I was single, I wanted to know who I was. I wanted to define myself and to understand the roots of my personality. So what I did is I had a paper and I typed everything that I know about myself. Everything. I typed who I was.
I am nice, I am impatient, I am excited, I am dynamic, I am courageous, I can be afraid sometimes.
I know that I have this and that, and the list was a quarter of the page. So I regrouped them by categories based on what is it related, and after that I tried to relate them to which roots, what was the cause, why am I like this, where does this come from, is it from my parents, is it from my friends when I grew up, is it from my high school, where does this come from? This helps me learning more about myself and showing more empathy regarding my own behavior. I communicate with myself about who I was, and through this I was able to improve the way I talk to myself. And this process helped me processing my feeling in my own time and understand myself better. And now that I am in a relationship, communication is key, but it's so hard because you have two individuals that before meeting each other didn't knew about each other at all. So they both grew up with different systems and different environment and different way to think, and now they both meet and we need to find a middle ground. And this is where we are in this learning moment, because now we have to figure out how to communicate with each other, but how to understand each other. Then it helps us to have more empathy between us and more patience. I'm saying this because now I realize, especially now that I don't know myself anymore, that I need to apply the same with myself, which means that I need to apply the patience, the communication and the learning. I have changed a lot those past few years. I have grown, I have matured, and I am maybe not the same person that I was before. I am now the new me. So of course I need to learn to get to know myself, show myself empathy and compassion and patience. The same way I show this to my partner and he shows this to me. And by applying this, I will learn, grow, communicate with myself better, but also put the good basis to a good relationship with myself. One good thing about learning to get to know yourself, and this is our next tip, is discover what you like. It's such a nice moment when you start to discover yourself, your taste. Right now, if I think about the taste of music that I had 10 years ago, 5 years ago, it's so different compared to now. Okay, there is the same vibe, but it's so different. And by the way, if you want to share your playlist of Spotify, please do it. I am curious to discover more artists. Thank you. But yeah, everything changed. Your taste in mouth, your taste in music, your taste of friends, your taste of people, your taste of what you like, everything. And it's super nice to get to know yourself and to get to know what you like now, you know? It's the same with the relationship. Even though we know each other now for a long time, what do you like? Like, does it something that you enjoy or not? Get to know each other all the time. And you really get excited about knowing more. You know, it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna learn something new about myself right now. I get excited about it. The next tip is take some time for yourself. Take some time for yourself. This applies for everyone. You need to take some time for yourself. Life goes so fast. The month of January was so slow. Oh my god. I feel like I felt January for like 6 months. But now it's February and we are already in mid-February. I don't know what happened. I just woke up, I closed my eyes, I woke up and bam, we are mid-February. I don't know what happened, but did I took some time for myself? Yeah, maybe not. And that's the thing, is that you need to dedicate time for yourself. You are able to dedicate time for your relationship, you are able to dedicate a lot of time for your work, but not for you. No, even if it's just 1 hour a week, you know, a small hour where you just do something for yourself, go on a date, or you stay home and you make it cozy for yourself. But I'm not talking about scrolling and be on your phone or watching a series, because then you don't see the time flies and you don't really enjoy with yourself. I am really talking about a genuine moment of you and you. And GP, I know you are watching. GP, it's me, Jane-Priscillia. I know you are watching. Do it. Do it. There are 168 hours a week. You can dedicate in 1 hour. 1 hour for some self-love. some self-love, my baby. The next tip is appreciate the process. Really appreciate the process. You will see from point A to point B how much you grow already, and appreciate those small things. Because I remember back when I was single, at the beginning I just didn't love myself. I just didn't know who I was. So I had to do a lot. But at the end of this, I was so proud on how much I know myself, how much I love myself. This is why I stopped, because I was thinking, okay, now I did the work. But yeah, like from A to B or from A to Z, there is so much. You need to appreciate every step of it. And this is what I will do right now. And this is also why I am doing those videos and this YouTube channel and this the new me hub. Because I want to appreciate every process of it and every steps of the way. And this goes really well with being grateful. Being grateful of how much you work for yourself, how much you are learning and how much you improve. So be grateful, and love grows step by steps. So you are creating the roots of your self-love. And once the self-love is there, the roots are already here and they will be strong. And this is also why right now I know that I stopped loving myself, but I have made such a big roots that I know it will be easy to be back to loving myself again. Right now I already feel it. Just the fact that I am making those videos, I am taking some time with myself, it just reminds me why I loved myself in the first place. The last tips, which is not the least, is embrace your imperfection. Hey, perfection is overrated. No one is perfect to this day. So let's be real. I know that I used to get so frustrated with myself when I was doing something. It was not perfect the way I wanted or perfect the way it's supposed to be, and then I would not do it at all, or I would... It's okay, relax. Just be okay with the fact that nothing has to be perfect. I have this wabi-sabi type of mindset. Embrace the imperfection. I thought that I had to do everything flawlessly to be even loved. But it doesn't make sense. The imperfection is what makes us lovable, you know? And when I think about my partner, he's perfect in my eyes, but I know he's not perfect, but I love everything, which makes him perfect. So because he's not perfect, he's perfect. And it's the same with me. Because I'm not perfect, I am perfect. So, what was my point again? Yeah. Love your imperfections. When you start loving yourself for your imperfections, but also for things that are already good, you love everything about you, and this is what makes the self-love amazing. Is to take your time to accept yourself the way you are. Period. So these are my tips for today. I hope you enjoy those. I don't know yet what will be the next videos. I'm still working on the script right now, so I'll let my creative flow working. But if you want me to talk about something specific, please let me know. I will be really happy to do so. If you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share it, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye bye. Hey, by the way, nice to meet you. I am Jane-Priscillia, and I am here to talk about self-love, to grow together, to improve, and to be the best version of ourselves. If you would like to know more, just follow, tag along, and welcome to the new me with Jane-Priscillia.